I'm not buttering you up. I really mean this. I think you are an extraordinary writer. You are incredible as a wordsmith. When did you realize that writing for you could become a profession, not just a passion?
Oh, that's a great question, and it's all gas. I don't believe you, but I do have a story for you.
Give me a story.
When I was at Oakland Tech, I played for the basketball team, but I wasn't good at all. Like I was playing JV, and I had one good game, and I was like, "Yo, I can't wait to see the school paper." It was called the Tech Scribe. So next, I wanted to go. I'm looking for the school paper because I'm certain, Damon, that there's going to be a big centerpiece story on me. I was like, man, I think I had like 20 points or something like that in a random JV preseason game.
Podium game.
So I go there.
Podium game.
Hey, I had my podium game. You know what I'm saying? And there was nothing at all. And so the teacher, her name was Madeline Pyatt. She said, "We don't have a sports writer, but you can be our sports writer." So I signed up. I joined the school paper thinking, fine, and I'll just write articles about myself. and, and in the process, I learned like, hey, that's kind of not what journalism is. But randomly out of nowhere, we had this guest speaker, and for some reason, it never dawned on me. Like I had a Jim Murray book. As a kid, I was a regular reader of the sports section. Like, I used to have to fight my grandmother because her rule was you can't touch the paper until she reads it all. So I would have to like sneak the sports section out and like put it back so it looked like it's not touched, right? I mean, I knew who Ralph Wiley was, right? I just knew about these people because that's what we read. Monty Poole was covering; he was the high school sports reporter when I was in high school. So like I read all this stuff and it never dawned on me that it was something I would ever do or I could ever do until I take this class. And guess who was the guest speaker, and he helped me with a story, and it just like illuminated, it popped. I was like, yo, this is good. And he was telling me I was good, and I'm starting to put two plus two together, and he's the one who helped me see that I could do this. And it was I used to read Sports Illustrated all the time too. So he wrote for Sports Illustrated. So I had like a kind of like, I know what Sports Illustrated is. And he helped me that was the first time I saw this was a career.
Who was it?
You'll never guess who it was.
Mike Silver.
Mike Silver. That's exactly who it was.
There you
Good job.
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, good job. It was Mike Silver. Yep. I didn't even, it never even crossed my mind. So then I go to college and, I joined the school paper and I write my first article. And
Where'd you go?
Clark Atlanta University. I went to a HBCU, and I'm like, I wrote an article and they were like, this is so good. Can you be the sports editor? And so at that point I was like, oh, I'm nice. Oh, I'm the next superstar. So, eventually the business humbles you. But I always wrote poems and wrote a lot as a kid. My dad used to write a lot. But this idea of we are a very talking family, lots of arguing, lots of talking. So I was always just good at taking what I understood and make it and sharing how I felt and how I thought. I just didn't know it could be like a sports career or anything like that. So I credit Mike Silver for showing me that, but just getting into the industry, and there's so many people who helped me along the way. It's just weird that this is what I do. I never envisioned this as my life, but it's a great life. I ain't mad at all.
Look, you're extraordinary at what you do, and it stands out in times where, basically, the rights of entry are being eroded everywhere. There are no editors for Twitter, and it's just a screaming space with no real arbiter of any sort of reason put behind what a lot of people throw out there. You are careful and calculated and smart and just inquisitive, and every time I read you, I want to read more. I'm always disappointed. I'm kind of at the end of the article, and I really mean that, man. I've been subscribing to the newspapers that you've written for, to the website that you write for. You and Slater and Kawakami do, I think, the best job in any beat covering the Golden State Warriors. You're all extraordinary at what you do. And let's have another conversation before another 10 years goes by. It was great catching up with you, man. Thank you very, very much.
I appreciate that very much. You know, you're an OG, so I'm with the OGs, man. We came from a different era, so I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from people who know what it used to be like. Forget this modern stuff. So anytime, I got you. You know, we don't have any constraints anymore, so let's get it.
Absolutely love Marcus Thompson stopping on by. We talked about his career, and if you can survive that echo, there is an entire conversation about the Golden State Warriors, the offseason, what their draft might look like for you to enjoy wherever you get your podcasts. You can download the Damon Bruce Show, Damon Bruce Plus, wherever you get your podcasts, and find the full Marcus Thompson interview if you can survive that echo. But I just had to share that story about his passion becoming his profession. I thought that was maybe the most interesting thing. Basketball, whatever. That was real. I loved it. I hope you did too. Again, if you can survive the echo, go download the podcast. An awesome conversation about the Warriors with Marcus. We'll get it better on our end. I think we fixed the glitch. We even proved so last time we did a home and home with Larry Krueger. Thank you for being patient. We're getting a little bit more dangerous each and every day here on the Plus. In the meantime, thanks to Marcus. Apologies for the glitch. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it.